Okay, so this is a game called... Let me just make sure it's on there because I don't want to make that mistake again. It's called Dead Synchronicity. I've never played it before. I don't really know what it's about. Okay. Pick up... Yeah, pretty standard controls here. I've never played it. It's been on my pile of shame. I really don't even remember buying it, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't remember stuff. Alright, let's just go ahead and... I want to tune down the music just so you can hear my lovely voice.
Please tell me where I am.
Main menu. Settings. That's just a little loud.
It depends on the number of soldiers in this zone.
Okay, there we go. New game! Alright, I wonder if this is one of those choices matter kind of things. Victorama Studios, Dead Lake Entertainment presents. Ooh, that's not good. Is your clock a laser?
Do you think he'll recover?
I don't know. It's too soon to say. We should let him rest.
Your lips aren't even moving.
He's been very feeble for weeks. He can't get up. He doesn't speak. Do you think we should call a doctor?
Call a doctor? Here?
You're right. Let's just hope he wakes up one of these days. Come on, my friend. Hang on. Don't give up.
So, zombie apocalypse, something like that. Let me just make sure the sound is working.
Wake up, Michael.
Alright, the sound should still be working. I'm just being paranoid here.
Come on.
Okay.
You have to wake up.
Ah, dang it. Hang on, I gotta fix this. Unlock the taskbar. Let's go ahead and move this to this. There we go.
What's happening? What is this place? Please, tell me.
Please, Michael, wake up. Wake up.
Okay, eyes open.
This silence. This darkness. Where am I? Damn it. I can't remember. Where are you? Where are you hiding?
Michael,
Is that my
please
name?
wake up.
Please tell me where I am.
You have to
I
wake
can't
up.
remember anything. Who are you? Who's there?
Wake up, Michael. Please wake up. Wake up now.
Don't go! Please! Come back! Come back! This silence. This darkness. This emptiness.
Emo lyrics. Okie dokie.
Good morning. I hope you're feeling better.
But...
Now don't be alarmed. I'm glad you feel strong enough to get out of bed. That's wonderful news. I must say, you're looking much better, considering what you've been through, of course.
Hey, at least their lips are moving now.
Ah, yes, of course. Forgive my manners. You've been with us for so long that I forgot that you don't know who we are. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Rod Atkinson. I was the director of the Municipal Property Registry before, well, you know.
You know what?
Before the world collapsed on us.
Please do me a chance, but... Can you tell me what I'm doing here?
Yes, of course. I think we owe you an explanation.
Because I've done so much for you.
Great wave. We found
The
you
Great
lying in
Wave.
a ditch near the airport. You were badly injured and unconscious. We couldn't just leave you there. Someone had already stolen your luggage and identification. It was awful. So we decided to take care of you ourselves and brought you here. You've been with us ever since. By the way, I should tell you that when we found you, your clothes were ripped to shreds, so we threw them away. The clothes you're wearing now are mine. You'll find more things in that wardrobe. If you need anything, just help yourself.
Thank you.
But open your eyes.
The Great Wave? What are you talking about?
Well, what would I be talking about? That damned, excuse my language, explosion that brought ruin to all of us. The origin of this filthy new world that now seems to be our permanent reality. You look a little confused, if you don't mind my saying so. Do you really not know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
I don't know. I'm afraid not. Let me ask you.
He doesn't know very many things.
You said with us. Who else lives here?
Ah, yes, of course. I still haven't properly introduced my family to you. Now is a bad time, but I promise to make proper introductions later. My wife and I sleep in the other room, and, well, little Colin sleeps with us.
Colin?
Yes, Colin is our only child. Our one ray of hope since the catastrophe. I'm going to confess something to you. Colin is the only reason my wife and I still struggle to keep going in this new world. We would have given up a long time ago if it weren't for him.
Of course. I understand. So that was your wife's voice that woke me up a few minutes ago.
Huh.
Right?
My wife? No, that's impossible. My wife has been with me in the other room the whole time. We haven't come out of there for hours. But I'm glad you're feeling better and are fully conscious now. I guess we could say you've been reborn.
Reborn.
The circumstances aren't the best. Simply being alive nowadays is practically a luxury. So, welcome to our home.
Welcome to City 17.
From what you've told me, I see that you saved my life. I'm very grateful, Mr. Atkinson.
No, please. You don't have to thank us. We just did what we had to. It's our moral obligation to uphold the ethical principles of civilization in this new world. But call me Rod, please. And, well, we also did it for Colin, you see. What kind of future does he face if we accept that it's every man for himself, that no one cares about anyone else? It's a terrifying prospect, don't you think? We're just doing whatever we can to avoid that future, that's all.
Where am I? What is this place?
You are in what I venture to call our home, our humble, hopefully temporary home. This is one of the many trailers that make up the refugee camp. And believe me, we can consider ourselves lucky to live between these four walls. Most of the inhabitants of this hellhole, excuse my crude-
You keep asking me to excuse your language, and yet you keep using it.
Cardboard for shelter.
Wait a second. Did you say refugee camp?
Yes, of course. The Facility for Temporary Accommodation of Disaster Victims is what they called it. You know, after the army declared martial law following the catastrophe. But do you really not remember? Do you really not remember anything about all this?
I don't even remember buying the game.
Excuse me. I'm afraid I can't remember a thing.
I see. There have been many cases like yours in the camp. Try to rest and not to get too agitated. Well, there's one thing I can tell you. You can consider yourself fortunate. There's nothing nice to remember about recent times, believe me.
Yeah, at least the vibrators are still working.
Rod!
Oh.
Please excuse me, but I have to leave you now.
No, wait, please. What's happening? Don't go yet.
I'm sorry, I understand that you have a lot of questions to ask me, but now isn't the time. Believe me, I promise to answer each and every one of your questions in peace and quiet later. Sorry, but I have to go.
Rod, please, quickly!
Okay, all right.
Now that you're feeling better, you can go out and take a walk around the camp. But please, be very careful out there. The world you knew before is gone. Heed my warnings, don't touch anything. Don't talk to anyone. And don't get mixed up in anything. At least until someone explains to you how things work in this New world the great wave left us. Everything has changed so much out there.
All right. Thanks for the advice.
Ah, one more thing before I go. You've been with us for quite a while now, and we don't even know what to call you. What is your
Adon.
My name? Michael. My name is Michael.
Very pleased to meet you, Michael. We'll talk again later, I promise.
Michael. That's what that disembodied voice called me. That must be my name. Wake up, Michael. That's all she said. Leaving me in this immense void where I can't remember anything. Great wave? New world? Refugee camp? What the devil could have happened out there? I think it might be a good idea to go out there and take a look. There's a very worn old notebook hidden under the lid. The cover is practically falling off the spiral binding. It looks like someone stashed it here some time ago and then forgot about it.
Good thing no one needed to cook. Adventure game logic.
It's an old accounting ledger that still has a few blank pages left in it. From what's written in here, it looks like someone was using it as a diary before ripping out almost all its pages and leaving it inside the oven in the trailer.
Ugh.
Well, look at that. When I pulled back the sheet, part of it got torn on the spring sticking out of the bed frame. I hope Rod doesn't notice.
Oops.
The bed frame under the mattress is so battered that one of the springs is turned into a very sharp protruding object.
I guess I need wire cutters, maybe?
It's an unframed snapshot, stuck directly on the wall of the room. Two adults and a child, smiling at the camera, in what looks like an enormous yard. One of them is Rod, my host. The old closet Rod told me about was funny.
He's hiding in it.
The glass on the door shattered. My reflection in the mirror is fragmented, like a photo ripped into little pieces and taped back together. Impossible. It's locked. I'm afraid my host forgot to unlock it before he left. A pile of frying pans, plates, and dirty silverware waiting to be washed. Ugh. This place smells like a cheap, greasy spoon. Good God. What the hell happened here? Rod was right.
Rod, damn.
But whatever it was, it struck into its very foundations, without any mercy whatsoever. What's happening now?
You better hide, dude. Don't you know that it's dangerous to show your face when the cleanup brigades come into the camp? You're new here, aren't you?
Yeah, you could put it that way.
Well, welcome to your new home. I'm Hank, but everyone calls me the Hunter.
I have psychic powers. I can talk without moving my
What's
lips.
going on up there?
Nothing, Mike, just routine. The cleanup brigades are taking away a sick person, a dissolved. You know how it is, just doing their job. Ironically, that house belongs to one of the camp moles. Those traitorous scumbags.
Brigades, dissolved, moles. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't remember anything.
Oh, I see, you're a blankhead. Well, you better get up to speed real quick if you want to survive here, Mike. Find me if you need help, dude. I can get you whatever you need. Doesn't matter where it is, how fast it runs, or where it tries to hide. That's why they call me the Hunter.
All right, I'll remember that.
Come back here! Don't take her away! Don't you know who I am? Come back here!
Jesus.
They shot that poor man in cold blood. But why did they do that? Hey, Hank? I'm afraid he's gone. The half-scrap remains of a sports car that looks like a collector's item. From the style, it must have been worth a pretty penny a long, long time ago. But now, I'm afraid it's just scrap metal. That must be little Colin, Rod's son. He looks unwell. Was that him I heard moaning in pain inside the trailer? That's Rod's wife. I heard her calling him from the other side of that door that just closed behind him. She looks worn out with those dark circles under her eyes. She looks like she hasn't slept in days. Rod seems upset and worried. What's going on in there? From here, it looks like one of those metal boxes for Danish butter cookies. And judging from how worn it looks, I'd say that it's been reused over and over again.
I love Danish butter cookies.
Someone improvised a bonfire inside that drum. Although the smoke starts to irritate the lungs pretty quickly, it seems like the only heating system the camp inhabitants have. He must be one of the inhabitants of the refugee camp. What the hell has he got in that shopping cart full of junk? A supermarket shopping cart full of plastic bags, ready to burst. This individual who looks like a bum never takes his eyes off it, and the swarm of insects fluttering around the merchandise don't either. Ouch! Damn it! This vacant lot is full of trash and broken glass. I managed to rip open the sole of my foot in a rusty nail.
Ow.
Hey, it's not a good idea to walk around barefoot in this enormous trash heap. You won't get very far without shoes.
Yeah, thanks for the tip.
The tip is yours to keep, but if you come near my things, you're a dead man. Understood? Wait, I recognize you. Aren't you the guy Rod's been taking care of in his trailer all this time?
Yes, I am. Do you know Rod?
Of course I do. Everyone in the camp knows Rod. You owe him your life. Don't doubt that for a second. Nowadays, no one in his right mind would do what he did for you. For a total stranger.
Yes, I'm very grateful to you. But tell me, can I ask you a few questions? I've been hearing about an enormous explosion. The Great Wave. What on earth are they talking about?
But what kind of question is that? Where have you been all this time? Sleeping in a cave?
Well, you could say that.
The Great Wave is the reason we're confined here like animals. The entire world went to hell in a handcart that day, and we went with it.
I've been able to see that with my own eyes. Can you tell me anything else?
Okay, I'll tell you what I know. The Great Wave hit us one Friday afternoon right out of the blue. I remember it perfectly because I'd just come out of an important meeting at that precise moment. I'd made a lot of money from a very fat contract. Very, Bob. Very, very fat. First, we felt the ground quaking, as if a volcano was about to erupt right under our feet. I had to get out of my car and run. Then came the explosions. Glass broke, buildings toppled, and then for weeks, the stench of corpses rotting in the streets. In just a few hours, that damn Great Wave set us all, with our businesses, our money, and our convertibles, straight back to the Dark Ages.
The Dark Ages?
Of course! Are you surprised? In a matter of minutes, we were left with no electricity, no water, no communications. And after the initial chaos, the dissolved started to show up. And that horrible gash opened up in the sky.
A gash in the...
Stupid breach up there that no one in this hellhole has bothered to explain to us. The fact is that the remains of the old system only held up for a few weeks. And through the cracks, what you see around you started seeping in.
The New World, right?
Yes, indeed. You catch on fast. The New World was here to stay. Welcome to the future, son. Not exactly the way you pictured it, huh?
Confined? Do you mean we can't leave the refugee camp?
Refugee camp. I've always found that term amusing. It seems like things on the other side of the fence work a little better. But here, look around you. Does this look like a refugee camp? It's an army detention camp. And you're a prisoner. Once you come in here, you lose everything, even your name. To them, you're nothing more than a rat. Just another camp rat. You'd never be able to get through the gate, especially if you don't know anyone or don't have any contacts on the outside. Doesn't matter who you might have been before the old world collapsed. Believe me, I speak from experience. If you're just a camp rat, I'm afraid the only way out of here is feet first. I don't know if you get my meaning.
Of course I do. Thanks for your encouraging words.
You can keep the words, but come near my things, and you're a dead man.
This shooting. Could you explain to me what just happened here?
Explain what exactly? That show the cleanup brigades put on? Someone got too chatty and ratted out a sick person, that's all. There's usually a pact of silence in the camp. No one likes to see one of their own in those ambulances. But in this case, the dissolved was a relative of one of the camp moles. Ironic, isn't it?
But they shot a man.
Yes, so they did. So what? The price of human life has gotten a lot cheaper lately. That needn't surprise anyone these days.
Did you say dissolved?
Of course, dissolved. But what the hell's wrong with you? Those people are a real plague. They're sick, and, so they say, highly contagious. Let me give you a piece of advice about them. If you see one, run the other way like he was the devil himself. Even if they don't give you that deadly disease or drive you crazy with their trances, the cleanup brigades will kill you for hiding one. You saw it with your own eyes. They don't even respect their own camp moles.
A camp mole? What is that exactly?
A spy. A stool pigeon. It's in the Army's interest to control the camp from inside. And so they pay some of the inhabitants to feed them information about what happens on this side of the fence. Who comes in, who goes out, who causes trouble, and, of course, who gets sick. They're scumbags, but very well-paid scumbags. And they have certain privileges that no one else in here has. Never trust a mole. They'll do anything to hang on to the favors the Army gives them in this hellhole.
Okay. I'll take your advice.
You're welcome. But stay away from the shopping cart, or I'll rip your guts out. Got it?
Well, I'll be going on my way. Good luck to you, pal.
Just be sure to stay away from my things.
Time has left these hinges bent and rusted. There's no way I'm going to be able to break open this door with my bare hands.
Adventure game.
I could swear that the lid is just the right size for this drum. Perfect.
Damn it! What's going on? This damn shithole is going to be the end of us.
I have to do this quickly before this man stops coughing. Well, let's see what we
This
have here.
filthy shithole is going to be the death of us.
I don't see anything but rotten food, tattered clothes, and trash. Wait a minute. It seems like there's also a small billfold with a bunch of credit cards.
What
the hell is this guy doing with so much plastic money? I have no intention of putting my hand back in there. There's nothing else in that shopping cart that interests me.
They mean to kill us all. That's what they want.
These are the charred and misshapen remains of a bank card. I doubt it can be used in this condition. Assuming there's anyone capable of finding a cash machine working.
Damn it! What's going on?
Adventure game logic. I could probably use this to unlock that cabinet.
Let's see if I can do this. Good. The mechanism gave way on the first try, but the car is trashed. For my sake, I hope that guy outside never finds out about this.
Oh.
Not just yet. I'm grateful to Rod for his hospitality, but these old shoes don't look very clean. It won't take more than a few hours for the wound on my foot to turn really ugly. And the last thing I need now is a serious infection. What these sheets need isn't a liquor, but more like a good detergent. Why change the sheets? I've been lying there for months, so I'm hoping I won't have to use that bed again for a long, long time. The pillowcase is quite large. It's not going to fit inside Rod's shoes. I'm not going to waste the whiskey on this. That would only make a puddle in the closet, and those shoes wouldn't be much cleaner than they are now. No question. This is the fastest way I can think of to unleash a disaster. So no, I'm not going to do it. It's no use. It won't open. I heard Rod bolt it from inside. A high-proof whiskey, and by the looks of it, an expensive one. The bottle was sitting in Rod's closet. I suppose that despite his apparent strength, that man would escape his problems from time to time. White, folded, with a scent of fabric softener. It's sad, but this pillowcase is the nicest thing I've seen since I woke up. For now, it's just a pillowcase. I don't see any point in soaking it in liquor.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see how well this protruding bed spring can cut. I'll use a little of what's in the bottle to soak the bandages.
Okay, you can't target yourself.
Here goes. I'll use the bandages on my foot. I hope the alcohol is enough to keep it from getting infected. Let's pray this improvised remedy doesn't lead to a delightful case of gangrene.
What bastard put a lid on the drum? You tried to suffocate me, you bunch of assholes!
I think that guy out there just discovered the reason for his sudden coughing fit.
Some coward in this shithole wanted to suffocate me! Me! Who was it? Who was it? Come back here so I can give you back your lid, you son of a bitch!
Did you hear that noise, Rod? What's going on out there?
I don't know. I'll go have a look. I think it's that poor drunk who's always hanging around the trailer. He's kicking up a fuss again. It's a good thing poor Colin can't hear his insults.
Don't ever say anything like that again, Rod.
I'm sorry, Bruce. I wasn't thinking.
Wait a minute. It's the moaning again. What's happening in that room?
What are you doing here? Get out of here! You've no business being in this room!
Rod, I'm sorry. But
What's going on?
Get out of here, Michael! You didn't see anything, understood? Out! Out!
Whatever.
Excuse my outburst, Michael. I shouldn't have behaved that way. It's not like me. But this new world brings out the worst in all of us. It's just that I can't stand to see Colin suffer this way. So for your own good, please, stay away from this room.
Wait, why?
It's no use trying to hide it. You're bound to find out sooner or later. Colin is very sick, and the authorities claim his illness is highly contagious.
Highly contagious? Is he one of the dissolved?
Michael, I won't let anyone use that word in my house! Yes, Colin caught that damn disease.
What exactly does the disease consist of?
I don't know, Michael. No one really does. The only news is what the army brings us. They say the disease is highly contagious, and it's our duty to turn over all victims to the cleanup brigades. But no one has ever come back after being carried off in one of those ambulances. No one. So we can't let them take Colin, do you understand?
Yes, of course I understand.
They say that all the victims are condemned, that there's no salvation for anyone, that at the end of their suffering and their chances lies certain death. I think that even the army is afraid of the victims. Really strange things happen around them, Michael. Things you wouldn't believe.
What things happen around people infected with the disease?
Strange things with no possible explanation. In their trances, they go places, Michael. They bring back information. They know things. They talk to people who are no longer with us. And we've been living like this for weeks.
Interesting.
The things that are happening around Colin are getting more and more confusing and hard to bear.
Talking to the dead? Jesus. My nerves are shot from the exhaustion and stress. But how did Colin get infected?
We don't know. No one knows how the disease is spread. The only thing we know is that the disease appeared after the catastrophe, and that it's spreading like wildfire.
So the Great Wave brought the dissolved with it?
Yes, but don't use that word again. Not in this house, anyway. It's so cruel and disrespectful. In effect, that's the only thing we know for sure about all this insanity. The Great Wave took everything from us and left us with this epidemic.
What's happening to Colin is terrible. If only there was something I could do.
Well, Michael, you can help us. I'm convinced that our finding you was no coincidence. You've got to help us.
But you said yourself that all the victims are condemned. What can I do?
No, all is not lost. In the camp, there are rumors of a cure. It seems that in the city, on the other side of the fence, the victims have access to a drug. But we can't get it here. And my contacts out there, well, let's just say they can't do anything to help.
So there's a drug that can cure them?
Yes, but they say that producing it takes a long time and is very expensive. And so it's reserved for city dwellers who can afford to pay for it. Get us that drug, Michael. I beg of you, please. Colin's time is running out.
I don't want to say that.
Getting involved was dangerous. I saw that shooting out there. There's also the possibility of infection.
Infection? Are you afraid for your life, Michael? Without our help, you'd be dead right now. Dead. Don't forget that. What's more, I could help you in return. I could help you get back what you lost. Don't you see?
Give me back what I lost? But you hardly know me, Rod.
I know the essential part, Michael. I know that you're a blankhead.
Blankhead? What the devil does that mean?
A blankhead is a person with no memories, who can't remember anything. It seems
yeah.
that the Great Wave had an enormous neurological impact on certain people, Michael. You're not the only one, or even the worst case. There are people who even forgot how to talk and how to walk after the explosion. Some ended up dying of starvation. They forgot what food looked like, how to chew it, even that eating was a necessity. You can consider yourself lucky. You still remember how to keep yourself alive. And that's the important thing. The natural recovery process is slow. It can take months, if at all. Listen to me, Michael. A man without memories is just a shadow. Or even worse, he's nobody. I still have some contacts out there. I was an important man in the municipal government. I could trace your name, your data in public records, your fingerprints. I could restore your whole life in the blink of an eye. But please, help us.
I'm grateful for your help, Rod. For everything you people have done for me. But
listen to me, Michael. We know that it's possible that our son is condemned to die. In fact, my wife and I have everything prepared for when he leaves us. Our child is the only thing that keeps us holding on in the new world. Nothing would have any meaning for us without him. So if there is even the slightest chance of saving him, we are prepared to do whatever it takes. Please, Michael, help us. For God's sake, listen to him. He's just a child.
Rod, come in here, quickly!
Bring us that cure, and we'll help you get your life back. Colin is our only hope in this new world. Help us save our future, and I'll give you back your past. I promise you. Goodbye, Michael.
no, Rod, wait. Bring a drug? Is he out of his mind? That man wants me to put his son's life in my hands? I can barely remember who I am. And I probably wouldn't last more than a few hours out there. But Rod was right. A man without a past is nothing more than a shadow. He offered to help me get my life back, my memories. So if I want answers, I have only one possible course of action: to get that drug.
Get that drug.
Wait a minute. Before leaving, I should write down everything important I find out in this notebook. It might come in handy if, as Rod says, I'm one of the blankheads the Great Wave left in its wake.
Where did I get a pen? Oh, that's weird.
But what's happening? What is this? What the hell's going on here? Good God. I think I'm starting to lose my mind. Through the windows, I can see the dashboard and the seats. It's funny. Despite the chaos on the outside, it seems like time has stood still inside the car. Can I ask you a few questions?
I'll answer anything you want, as long as you don't get near my stuff.
Tell me about Rod Atkinson.
Well, I don't know him very well, but they say he's decent enough. Too decent.
Hi, Lox the Finnick. I just noticed you were there.
Did you know that before coming here, he was someone important? I think he worked for the government, and he still has some good contacts on the outside.
Hi.
Not good enough to get that stupid do-gooder
Hi.
and his
Stupid
family
do-gooder?
out of here. Well, you know how it is. Rod is one of those good Samaritans who think they can save the world. He has helped a lot of people. I reckon that he's too weak for these times. I don't know how long he'll be able to survive.
You said he had a son. A pretty good reason to hang on, don't you think?
Hi.
I haven't seen that kid running around here. Well, I'm glad he's not anywhere near me. That brat doesn't have anything better to do than to try to snoop in my shopping cart.
Well, I'll be going on my way. Good luck to you, pal.
Just be sure to
Stay away from my things. Oh, I'm doing great. You know, just playing a game. I actually got tomorrow off. Yay. Well, it's because we are doing, like, testing at school and stuff, and they actually don't want us to come in. So I have tomorrow off. But I still get paid, so, you know, that's kind of
A
cool.
bunch of shacks, trying valiantly to stay standing in a sea of mud and trash. I can't imagine how it must be to live in one of them.
Serendipity. I think my luck's starting to change. I had a pretty good day today.
A quick glance at these tents is enough to make you realize how forsaken these poor people are. Confined against their will.
Yay!
Although it looks hastily and shoddily built, it's surprising to see a brick-and-mortar building amid all these shacks in the refugee camp. No doubt this must belong to someone important, or with very good contacts in here.
I really should. He didn't walk so slow. Yay.
Hello, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Excuse me? What did you call me?
You're Mr. Sleepyhead. I saw you sleeping in Colin's trailer. I'm so glad you're awake now.
It wasn't sleep. I was sick for a long time in that trailer.
No, you weren't sick. You were sleeping like a big brown bear, Sir Sleepyhead. Sometimes I used to watch you sleeping in Rod's house, and you would grunt in your sleep like a bear. A great big lazy bear, Mr. Sleepyhead. But I'm glad you're awake now. I like your voice. You sound like a knight in a fairy tale.
So, do you know Rod and Colin too?
Of course. I go over to their house a lot. Well, when they let me out of the van, that is. Rod and his wife have been very nice to me. Sometimes they let me play with Colin. We're very good friends. Are you a friend of Rod's and Colin's too, Mr. Sleepyhead?
Yes, I'm friends with them too. Mr. Sleepyhead? No, that's not mine. I'm Mike.
No, you're just trying to fool me. You're Mr. Sleepyhead. My name is Rose.
Something odd about this girl's behavior. It's true that she's very young, but she talks like a little girl. Nice to meet you.
She might be developmentally disabled.
Secret, Mr. Sleepyhead?
Of course.
I have your old clothes. The ones you were wearing when Rod and his wife found you. I have them in the van. They were going to throw them away, but they gave them to me to wrap my baby in. It'll be cold now that winter's coming.
You have a baby, Rose?
Yes, I have a baby, but he's not with me right now. He got lost. Have you seen him? Do you know where he is? I have another secret to tell you, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Back in the van, Rose. Now. Move your ass. Get in there.
Another secret? Just a minute. Wait!
Get in that van, Rose.
It's a very important secret.
Yeah, I do take a lot of screenshots.
Something about you. Something about before the Great Wave. But first I have to find my baby. Have you seen him?
Come on, Rose, you heard me. You don't want to get us mad now, do you?
I have to go. Goodbye, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Oh. Oh.
She's obviously mentally ill. She's just a little girl in a grown-up's body.
And you? If you want to go in there with her, you gotta pay like everybody else.
Oh, gross.
Hey, you guys.
You talking to us?
That poor girl's not right in the head. She acts like a little girl. How can you people be so unscrupulous?
Rose is an adult. She's earning a living. Like we're all trying to in this case.
Yeah, I take a lot of
Mind your own
screenshots.
business, pal.
You're abusing a poor, disturbed girl.
Us? Taking advantage of Rose? Us? You want to insult us? We're giving her room and board. She's got nothing to complain about. But she's got to work. That's the only thing we ask of her in return. That's the way things work now. Bring us the money, then you can get in the van with her. Hey, do us a favor and spare us all that sanctimonious crap from the old world, pal. Don't waste our time.
I don't have anything more to discuss with you.
Fucked up. Alright.
What exactly do you think you're doing? Hey, pal, touch that generator and you're a dead man. My partner and I don't kid around when it comes to defending what's ours. That clear?
Extremely. I was just curious and wanted to see this relic up close. You don't have to get nervous. Better not. If these guys are unpleasant sober, I had to imagine them drunk.
So I guess that's not gonna work. Oops.
Okay, here goes. It's impossible to budge these drums at all. I don't know what they contain, but whatever it is, it weighs a ton. Dozens of stored drums stacked chaotically. What the devil could be in them? And who might want to keep them here? Someone placed a bunch of those rusty drums up against the wall. Ugh. They smell like liquor and industrial oil. Oh, Jesus. The cocktail of odors is nauseating. Another camp inhabitant. He seems quite elderly. What's he doing here all by himself? Hello.
Hello, son. Glad to get a little closer to the fire.
Thanks, mister. This is a rather isolated part of the camp. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm waiting. That's all. Just wait.
You're waiting. What is it you're waiting for exactly?
Nothing in particular. The usual. For fire to go out. For sunrise. For it to get cold again. I'm waiting for something to change. Or for everything to stay as it is. I'm just waiting. You're too young to understand.
It's starting to get cold. Where's your tent? Or your trailer?
Yes, I had a tent once. They issued me one when I decided to enter the refugee camp after the Great Wave. The trailer was out of the question. They went to the families with the best contacts. Nah, you know how it is. Even in purgatory, some people are more than others.
Got a runny nose.
You say that you decided to enter the camp. Does that mean that people weren't forced to come here?
Oh, no. Of course not. Why would they have to force us? The catastrophe hit the city hard. Those of us who had lost our homes were invited to come here. In principle, it was temporary. Just until the authorities got the situation under control and started rebuilding. We used to have food, water, a place to sleep.
But now it's more like a prison camp than a refugee center. What happened?
I don't really know. I guess something went wrong. The new housing they promised us never got built. And in the end, the army seized control of the camp. The food ran out, and then the water supply. Nobody bothered to replace them. Seems like our lives didn't matter anymore.
Refugee lives matter.
In time, things in here started to get very ugly. There were riots, uprisings, and the army decided to close the gates of the camp without any notice. One day they decided that no one could enter or leave here. Well, actually, people still could enter, that is. Now, this is where anyone who gets in the way in the city ends up. Or anyone they don't know what to do with.
So, this has turned into something like a concentration camp.
That's right, son. That's exactly what it is. You know, it's funny. I remember when my father told us about the war in Europe, about all the persecution, deportation, those overcrowded cattle cars. That all sounded to us like an old movie, an old horror movie. And look at us now. I guess some things never change. They just stop being visible for long enough for us to forget about them.
And where's your tent now?
It was stolen from me a while back. They fetch a good price on the black market now.
Stolen? But how could anyone...
You You seem to be new in the camp, am I right? These things happen nowadays. It's best to take things as they come. The reality of the new world is very simple, son. Soldiers and the moles do whatever they like on this side of the fence. And the hunter and his men run the black market and all the dirty rackets. I suggest you memorize all this.
The hunter. I've exchanged a few words with him, but I hardly know him. Yes. The man who protected me during all the shooting. He seems like someone with good connections and some answers. Could he know anything about the drug for treating the dissolved? Do you know where I can find him?
You can find him in those barracks at the back. That's his... well, let's say it's his logistics office. Now, the hunter is very dangerous. Watch your step around him and his men. I happened to meet his father when he was young. He was a violent, degenerate son of a bitch. A real asshole. And I'm afraid his son has followed in his footsteps.
Let's talk about something else. So tell me, is there any way to get out of the camp?
I'm sorry, son. The only way to get out of this camp is to know someone important who can pull strings for you. Or to become a camp mole. Those traitorous scumbags have gate passes.
I see.
I'm not surprised you want to get out of this shithole. You've no doubt got something to do, or someone to find out there. Well, they say things are better in the city, that there's order and things are starting to function again. But who knows? Well, at least they have Reverend Blake and the consolation of Suicide Park.
Suicide Park? What's that?
Nah, just a song that drifts into the refugee camp from the other side of the fence now and then. And the first dark stars come out to hang from the sky. We could sit and count them together, you and I, when the sun departs from Suicide Park. I'm sure you still have some hopes, some dreams. I'm afraid you're just too young to understand it.
He says that a lot.
Who's Reverend Blake?
He's a preacher. Sometimes comes from the city to bring us a little comfort. Now, some people make jokes about him, but many of us believe that he's a prophet. You should hear him speak sometime. His words etch themselves deeply into your soul. That's why he has so many followers inside and outside the camp.
And what was the extent of the Great Wave's impact? How are things beyond the city?
Truth is, I couldn't tell you. In the first days, the chaos was so overwhelming that no one worried about anything beyond their own backyard. The victims were disoriented, cut off from the world. Then I got into the camp, and news from far-off places doesn't reach this prison. I'm afraid you'd have to leave here to get the answer to that question.
I should be going on my way. Have a pleasant wait, mister.
Save game. Alright, this is a really interesting story. I was a little surprised. I thought it was going to be like a zombie apocalypse thing. But this is a bit of a different take on an apocalypse, because it's not really clear what's causing it. Alright, yeah, anyway, exit. I want to take a break from the game. Alright, just remember, you're loved. I love you all. Thank you for watching, especially you.